in today's world, the value you give, the same you are going to get the dog of the same value. You registration means purebred. That is not the case. The whole family or the owner and the dog goes through the trauma because one person decided to buy a cheap dog. In today's world, I would say breeders need to breed functional dog, not only looks, keeping in mind the looks or how this dog looks, or so in to perform and to give that performance in this kind of a heat and this kind of a terrain. If the dog is able to do that, the dog will get worth. We have seen it. Like
Coming to the topic about you said about giving puppies to people with BSCI documents. We have I think Rajesh has shared quite a few personal experiences himself. Like when he has people, normally the trend of buying dogs. When you talk about an Indian breed or Carvan, right? When it comes to prices, or like for any breed, I mean, it's the same goes for even for foreign breeds. I think it's a very bad situation in the market right now because we see dogs of any breed or whatever. Sold for like really silly money. I mean, you could probably now even get a Labrador for 5,000. You could probably get a German Shepherd for 10,000, 8,000. I mean, silly prices. I mean, I think even goats are sold for better prices. You could probably buy a goat for around 5,000. I know you eat it probably. If you cut it and eat it, okay, that's meat justified. But you're talking about getting a dog, which is going to be a lifelong relationship for at least 12 years minimum, depending on the breed, just average. So, we see people negotiating prices or people, just going for the cheapest price or like comparing prices. So, what are some of the things that people really need to understand and look at? When we talk about Carvan prices, nowadays it's a very famous trick, I would say, because some people inquire, okay, they will say, okay, if let's say you ask for a price, breeder will tell, okay, it's 15,000, yeah. So they will say, is this including a KCI document?
Right.
So if the person says no, if it's not KCI registered, then he said, okay, document's not that. So can you reduce the price to 8,000? Or can you give me the dog for 10,000 then? So what would you have to say about this? I mean, anything that you could shed some light on this? Yeah.
See, in today's world, the value you give, the same you are going to get the dog of the same value. You cannot expect it to be something great. If you pay 5,000 rupees for a dog, you are going to get dog that is for 5,000 rupees. You are going to get that value. See, you need to think. Don't think about the budget because it is not a thing. Okay, it is a living thing. It is going to be your family member and it is going to live with you for at least 10, 12 years. Make sure you buy from good reputed breeders because see now you save a few thousands here and there, but once you get that dog and you are emotionally attached with that dog if he has some genetic disorders or some health issues, what the veterinary bills that you get, they are going to, like, any veterinary doctor, it is expensive. Like for even human, even human going to any hospital or is going medical for humans or animals is expensive. After that, the trauma that the dog and the owner goes through, that is there. Like that, you cannot put a value on that, right? The whole family or the owner and the dog goes through the trauma because one person decided to buy a cheap dog that was not well bred and that did not have like good breeding practices were not used while breeding that dog. So some issues have come up in that dog because and you wanted to buy it for a cheap price, but then it is your family member and now the dog is not doing good. He is in a bad shape. You are mentally in a bad shape. There are veterinary bills that are keeping on exceeding. Now what do? You try to save a few bucks here and there and you pay for it. Better, I would suggest people that please inquire, please talk to, there are lots of breeders. Please talk to 8 to 10 breeders of this breed. Ask them for KCI document, ask them about their parents or even the grandparents if you can, ask them. Ask them for the papers, the copy of the paper of the mother and the father. That show me the pedigree of the mother and the father. because do that. After that, please, I would suggest, please buy from good reputed breeders, because since our Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi promoted the Mudal Hounds with the BSF and the Indian Army, these Indian breeds clicked in. A lot of people generated interest with buying these Indian breeds. So naturally, because there is a demand for it, a lot of traders, or I would say resellers, has come in this dog breeding, because they want to like buy a puppy from here and keep 1,000 rupees or 1,500 or 4-5,000 also behind one puppy and just sell it. They are not the breeders, they are just the resellers of this dog. So please be careful about that. When you are buying from a breeder, especially online, then you do your online survey, I would say. Do your online study properly. Scan the breeder for 4 to 5 years, see his online presence. If he is having a litter that is there every month or every 15 days or every 2 months, if he has a litter, then that breeder is living with breeding dogs. So so when someone gets into that mode, when they are living on with by selling dogs, then for them, it most of them, it becomes like, it is like a machine. Like, it produces a puppy and then okay, you sold the puppy and done. So please buy from reputed, passionate breeders. Please buy from breeders who are using good breeding practices and who are responsibly breeding. And don't think about, like, see, I think in today's world, I think you would get a caravan hound puppy from 7,000 rupees to 25,000 rupees in India, I think. That is that, anything in this range. But people who are selling for 25, they are not fools. They have put in that much behind the dog. They are putting in the efforts behind the parents, the grandparents, the puppies, and taking all the care, making sure, working with the genetic problems if there are any in the breed, using good breeding practices. So if they are investing so much, they would want some return out of it, right? And they are like they are in this dog caravan hound dog breeding since before you. So they have an idea that I have put in so much in this breed, so I should get at least this much. They are not fools to ask for that much. Person who is asking 25,000 rupees for a caravan hound puppy is not a fool. See, definitely. That's why I said, like, talk to a lot of breeders before you buy a puppy. Please talk to at least 8, 10 of the breeders and discuss with them. And whatever fits your budget and whatever dog you like, then you buy it. Just like, don't go and buy it from someone with blind faith. Like, study. If you're doing it online, then do an online study. There is things like, if the breeder says that he is breeding since 15 years, so probably since last 10 to 12 years he should be online.
Hmm.
See what he's been posting online, you will understand. Like, online presence makes a difference now, because everyone is online. You can have, like, by seeing someone's online profile, you can get a rough idea about that person. So
Yes.
study that.
Okay.
Don't go for, because he is offering me the cheapest dog, I am going to buy it from him. If you
Hmm.
go and do that, then there might be or there might not be, but there are chances, because he is selling that dog for cheap, so at a very low price, because there is not much invested in that dog. And when you want to do things, when you want to keep proper vaccination records, proper breeding plans, proper KCI registration, then, and you want to put in the efforts behind doing this, then of course any breeder is going to be expecting some amount of money, so that, because he's putting in so much efforts, right? Someone who's like, just say, um, about cars, okay,
Hmm.
just say about cars, Maruti Maruti Suzuki,
Hmm.
okay. If you
Hmm.
say some Maruti Suzuki car, just say like a wagon or something, you cannot go and compare that with a Toyota Corolla, right?
Hmm.
Toyota
Hmm.
Corolla is getting sold for that price because it has that much efforts that have been put, the features it has, the design it has. Maruti is
Hmm.
selling their cars for cheap because they have, like, the amount of effort. People are not fools. They are quoting their prices because they have that quality. And see,
Okay.
it's not like it's only a dog. Like you have you have your footwear. You get a slipper rupees, and you go to a good branded store and you will get a slipper for 2000 rupees, but the 2000 rupees slipper will have that quality, and quality is there in
Correct.
living things also, and that quality comes up by mostly by the breeding practices and the genetic diversity, the genetic history behind the dog. There are lots of things that make a dog, when you breed, there is the genetic diversity, genetic history, medical problems, temperaments, all these things need to be taken care of. And
Correct.
one thing I'll tell you, people feel that that this dog, are desi kutta hai, it is our Indian breed, so it's Indian hai na, so it should be cheap. Why should it be cheap? Like if it is
That was going to
Indian,
be my next
if
question, actually.
yeah, if it is Indian, if it is rough and tough, if it is avoiding you with the veterinary bills, if it is sorry, if it is keeping you away from all that trauma of going through medical this thing, why should that breed be cheap? It is it
Correct.
is cost it does not these breeds do not eat the amount quantity of food also, so that feeding cost is also low. So if you're saving up on so many things, why should the dog breed be cheap, right? Because it
Correct.
is Indian, you expect it to be cheap? No, why not? Like if you are getting the quality, then you need to pay for it. Let it be Indian or let it be imported. Does not matter. If that dog has that quality, you need to pay a good price for it.
Correct. Because we already know, I think people pay, is what I've heard about lakhs, paying lakhs for importing dogs from
Yeah,
overseas, right?
yeah,
And there are buyers who buy from these breeders, they pay a hefty sum also,
right,
for these puppies or whatever.
right,
And when it comes to comparison of Indian breeds also, we talk about a Karwan or a Mudol
right.
or even a Pashmi. I mean, Pashmi is a breed that, to be honest, it's quite elusive right now because I don't think a lot of people are
Yeah,
into Pashmis. I mean,
yeah,
I think a Pashmi, I don't think it's much different from a Saluki or whatever. So
right,
I don't discriminate between the two.
right.
But however, cases we said like, then do people obviously, they always, whenever it's an Indian breed, they want it for less money.
Yeah,
I think people need to start changing their thought process,
yeah,
to be
yeah,
honest, because if you're taking a Carvan or let's say a Mudol for let's
yeah,
say 15,000,
yeah.
okay. Trust me, I have my now Saluki or Pashmi, whatever you call it. I've had her for like almost 2 years now.
Mhm.
Uh, to be honest, she only had one vet visit till date, and that was due to obviously a little bit of I would say probably miss from my end. She when she had ticks whatever,
Mhm.
but you learn from experience obviously,
Right,
and obviously, but we do not want to have experiences trial and errors which are
right,
very expensive for
right,
dogs. So because obviously they're living beings,
right.
we cannot expect them to be
Yeah,
go through suffering and all.
yeah,
So you already actually answered my next question, which was going to be about talking about dog prices, right?
yeah.
So now, uh, my next point would be functionality
Mhm.
or show dogs. To be honest, I'll speak for myself first because I really am not a show fan. To
Right,
be honest, obviously, I mean, I would like to show my dog, but I'm not into shows.
right,
I rather prefer a dog which would hunt any time of the day.
right,
And I mean, I've already shared videos of of Mona. Like you've seen those videos, like how it's easily she quickly she tries to catch anything. Like
right,
whenever commanding.
right.
So how so what do you feel? I mean, personally, I mean, or do you think
Personal.
a dog should have a mix of both, or would you share like, or would you just say a show line or a functionality? Yeah,
No, I would say the dog definitely needs to have uh, both, like showing and functionality. Sorry, I just got a call. Showing and
hmm
uh, if showing is not there, still I would prefer more functionality. Because see
okay,
that is where the main essence of the breed is. Because since so many generations, this breed has been bred to hunt. okay, this breed has stayed and lasted and evolved in India because they were bred to hunt. The practices, see, because I've been into this since 2006, 2007, since that time. I've talked to people that time who were 70 and 80 years old, and I would ask them about their breeding practices. And the breeding practice they had was you hunt sorry, you breed a good female who is hunting with a good hunting male dog so that two good hunters produce puppies that can hunt. And that is the main reason. This breed needs to be functional. And that is where the main essence, the main characteristic of the breed is. Functionality is very important. I myself, I'm breeding Salukis purely, see, with showing also. First thing I'll tell you, if you say Salukis and even Caravans, the breed standards for this breed, at least the KCI, I do not know about the other clubs, at least the KCI breed standards and the international standard for the Saluki that is registered with the FCI, these breed standards were made keeping in mind the functionality of the dog. Like the breed standard was made so that if the dog fits in this breed standard, it can be functional. Okay, like if the dog does not fit in the breed standard, if there is something more or something less or something out of the breed standard, it does not mean that that dog is not of that breed. It just means that the chances of that dog being functional are a little bit less. Okay,
Hmm.
because breed
Hmm.
standard,
Because I guess for
yeah,
showline, basically it's aesthetics than more of
yeah.
functionality.
Yeah, but like with aesthetics also, the breed standard, if you're breeding, keeping in mind a breed standard, for show you need to breed your dogs according to the breed standard, right? And the breed standards were made, these are old breed standards. They were made 70, 80, 100 years ago by people who would hunt, okay? And keeping the breed, each and every point in the breed standard has been specified according to the functionality. Okay, because
Hmm.
like if you see the breed standard of the caravan hounds, Mudor hounds, these are breed standards, the body angulations of these dogs, these are what that are you needed these dogs to have this certain angulation compared to the terrain we have over here in Maharashtra, Karnataka, all this area. Okay, if you see
Hmm.
greyhounds are much longer, very much over angulated because you needed that the greyhounds mostly in Europe, Australia, although so you have grasslands over here. We do not have grasslands over here. For
Hmm.
grassland, there is a clean, straight, this thing, straight drive. If you see over here, it is jumps and lefts and right. The hair keeps on missing. So you cannot have a over-angulated dog with a sloping top line like a greyhound. That is not made for this terrain. So you cannot introducing that into this breed is not going to be good. It is somewhere going to be will result in the individual being non-functional or lacking 100% functionality, I would say.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Okay. Okay.
showing, I would say is because come on, like people need to show their dog so that new people see this breed and people get attracted to this breed, and also a lot people are spending lakhs on importing other breeds. Like even if we have such beautiful Indian breeds that can compete and win against these expensive breeds that are being imported, why do we need to import that? Like, why don't we promote and focus on our Indian breeds? We have very beautiful.
Hmm.
These breeds,
Correct.
like, they look absolutely majestic when they're trotting and moving in the ring. Absolutely majestic, these dogs, like very elegant. The way they move, the way they trot, very beautiful. And they really give a lot of our Indian breeds, they really give a very tough competition to dogs that have been imported on for lakhs and lakhs of rupees. And these are dogs that we bought for a few thousands, or we've bred and it just
Okay.
costed a
Now,
few thousands to have these dogs. And
hmm,
these dogs compete and beat dogs that people have spent to get lakhs on those dogs, and dogs can beat them. You need to do proper breeding practices, proper trainings. So because the showing is also a sport, okay, but it is about beauty, but it's not about beauty, but it's about having a dog within the breed standard. The judges judge a dog The judges study a breed standard of a breed, and on basis of
Mhm.
that they judge a dog. Like what does the breed standard say? And according to that they judge the breed. So breed stand, and if you see these dogs, the breed standards of these breeds were made by keeping functionality in mind. If you see the caravan hound breed standard, the first breed standard that was made about the caravan hound by the KCI was made by Mr. Nawab Nazir Yar bin Jung. He was a senior
Mhm.
KCI judge. He was himself was a very reputed and a very famous breeder. He used to breed other breeds also, but he himself kept all his dogs functional.
Mhm.
So, so the breed
Okay.
standard
Okay.
for all, even the breed standard for the Salukis were also written down by a lot of people from the British Army who have traveled and they were into hunting. So the breed standard is made keeping in mind the functionality of the breed. So showing
Okay.
and functionality both, I would say, coming together is very good in a dog. But sorry,
Correct.
yeah,
Okay. So
One question,
basically,
one question.
I mean,
Uh,
yeah. Sorry, Rajesh.
yeah,
Yeah.
one que-
yeah.
is KCI register means pure breed?
No, no.
Because
KCI
we
registered.
see greyhounds win, some greyhound female win in KCI shows or something,
Yeah.
and in Pashme also. So please explain
Yeah, the
that.
Okay.
KCI registration means purebred. That is not the case. In today's world, I would say breeders need to breed functional dog, not only looks, keeping in mind the looks or how this dog looks or how this dog performs. Keep not only keeping that, you need to somewhere consider speed, temperament, swiftness, agility in a dog. So all these dogs that make a good
Mhm.
functional dog, all these points that make a good functional dog, these are also very important. And nowadays, a lot of breeders are not doing it because I wouldn't say it is their fault, but they have not been exposed to it. They have not seen these dogs being functional. Rather than the dogs running in their yard, they have not seen these dogs being functional. So somewhere if
Okay.
people start seeing these dogs in functionality, the breeding factor will change, and I think once functionality kicks in a little bit more, we will be able to breed much healthier dogs than what we have
Okay.
right now. Yeah,
Okay. So now you said about having a mix of both, right?
mhm,
Functionality and shoreline purpose, right?
yeah,
I mean, it's not. I don't think it's unachievable.
mm,
It can be done.
yeah,
But I think every breeder has his own, picture or his own, idea about how a dog should look like. Maybe that is something, that people need to come together and probably discuss, and come to a mutual agreement. I think that's when probably things might change.
right.
Yeah, so that's what I feel anyway. So I don't know how easy is it. Maybe it's totally unachievable. I mean, not about the dogs, but the breeders coming together and
Yeah,
working together.
yeah.
So
No, it is a
yeah.
problem. Like, especially with these Indian breeds, not a lot of breeders come together to discuss breeding practices. They would
Mhm.
come together, they would talk about everything rather than breeding practices. And
Mhm.
the thing with I have seen, this is the problem with most of the owners of these Indian breeds. If someone says uh, something negative or something that like just say like this is maybe a little bit less in your dog or maybe this is a little bit more in your
Mhm.
dog, they people really get agitated with that. They, of course, come on, nobody likes their dogs being named, but the thing here is it is you need to see the broader picture, right? You need to see the broader picture that if this is the issue that my dog has this thing, and it is completely fine. You need to accept that there is something less in my dog. Nobody has 100% perfect dogs. There is always going to be something less, something more. And as breeders, as owners, you need to work on developing that. Maybe in the next generation, you breed your female or your male with the companion. Make sure that the companion, whatever lacks in your dog, make sure his companion has that. So once they mate, they produce something that is in between or something that is gone mostly towards the other individual side. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
breeders, all these, a lot of other breeders, they have seminars, they have grooming seminars, they have breeding seminars. People study other breeders, what type of breeding they are doing. This is not a practice in people who are owning and breeding these Indian breeds, you know. Few years they'll own this breed, 2 3 years, and then they start thinking that okay, fine, I know everything about this breed. It is 17 years, and uh, every day since 17 years, you learn something new. Okay, about breeding. It is not like you like in 1 year or 2 year. It's not like some diploma course or something, you know, like 1 2 years and you are done.
Mm-hmm.
You get a certified this thing. You learn every day in breeding what might come up, what you should do. It is upon you how much you are expecting and how much open you are about learning, you know. One, like I
Mm-hmm.
would say, some people today should be open. That is where we are lacking as breeders of this Indian breeds. We are not very open minded
Mm-hmm.
about here.
Mm-hmm.
Like people really get
Okay.
objected about some their dogs, but they should see the broader picture. If there is something that is not,
Mm-hmm.
there is something less in your dog, and someone is telling you this, you take it from a sportsman point of view. You know, like you prepare better
Correct.
and you come and fight next time. Take it from a sportsman point of
Correct.
view. People, we do not have that. People should sit together, discuss, have. Oh, if you cannot physically sit together, do online meetings. Why not? Do online meetings, discussions, groups, seminars about breeding, learn from other breeders, you know, people who have been breeding since ages and people who are more experienced. People, why don't like new people? They should learn from these people because experience is what matters over here, you know. If you're
Mm-hmm.
because with experience you really start understanding what is correct and what is not, and then you start changing. So people who are experienced, then you, why don't you learn from them? There is no harm in doing that, you know. Like everybody today is
Mm-hmm.
like they'll keep dogs and 1 year 2 year and they will be like, fine, I know everything about this breed. That is not the
Mm-hmm.
case. People who are keeping dogs since more than decade, they are not fools. They have experience, and in this breed, because it is a living thing, you come in contact with it. More you come in contact with the breed for more longer of time, more new things you learn. So please learn from people who have experiences. Please see their breeding practices. Ask them about their breeding practices. I don't think people will have a problem if you really ask gently, if you really ask politely. I don't think people will have a problem sharing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Okay. Cool. Thank
today
you, Nikhil.
breeders and
Yeah.
owners
Mm-hmm.
lack that, and if these few things change, it can really make a big difference to these breeds.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got two more points to
Yeah.
discuss. In the meantime, if there's anyone who has any questions, I think we have. I'm seeing probably seven people,
Yeah.
out of which probably two of us, it's us, three of us is us
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, you can just message us.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'll continue with my last 2 points. So
Yeah.
basically, we spoke about prices
Mhm.
earlier, right? And we understand like obviously people when it comes to Indian breeds think that. Indian breeds should be
Mhm.
priced less compared to foreign breeds. But I have heard, and I think you guys could probably, also, prove to that, or probably also confirm. I've heard that in certain parts, right, where even though hunting is banned,
Mhm.
people still hunt with dogs. I
Mhm.
mean, and
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think the government can do a lot of things about
Yeah.
completely banning wildlife. Poaching does happen
Yeah,
everywhere,
there,
so it's
there are loopholes.
uncontrolled.
There are loopholes
But
in the system, and it is
correct,
fine. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
So I've heard like there are people willing to pay
Mhm.
sums of over 50,000 for a good hunting caravan or
Yeah.
a good hunting
Yeah.
mudal or
Yeah.
pashmi is what I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard I had seen this post on Facebook
Mhm.
where a mudal was someone had bought a mudal because he liked the mudal for around 80,000 rupees.
Wow. Okay.
So could you probably let us know if if there was any of these things that you guys can
Mhm.
confirm, like what I have said. It's not just that I'm coming up with stories. Like
Yeah.
if you guys could tell us, or if you guys could share one of your
Yeah.
experiences, right? Is there anything that you could share? Like You can share your experience about, let's talk about maybe just coursing, taking a dog's coursing or whatever. If you could share one of your experiences for the people on the viewing this call.
Like I initially also said this, that if the dog has that potential, if the dog has that quality, that dog will get the right. Like if people, someone who knows and who can see that quality, that person will pay for that dog. Even if it's an adult dog, if a dog, see the hair, it runs, I think at uh, 45 kilometers per hour. I think that is the speed a Indian hare runs at. And the hare, if you see a hare running, it will be running probably 6 or 7 inches from the ground. And you need to have a
Mm-hmm.
dog that chases it down and hunts it down. I think hunting down a hare will definitely be at least over 700, 800 meters of running and chasing the dog. The dog should have that potential. It is not easy. The terrain we have, there are stones, there are thorny shrubs, there are bunds in between. The dog needs to jump. The heat is there. India overall, like wherever, like mostly if you see
The
Maharashtra,
weather.
Karnataka, okay, it is hot over here. Like temperatures normally are between 35, 45 degrees over here in most of the time. So in to perform and to give that performance in this kind of a heat and this kind of a terrain, if the dog is able to do that, the dog will get worth. We have seen it. Like now it has been, I think, a decade or over a decade. The Bijapur Yatra has stopped. Initially, there used to be a gathering in Bijapur due to the temple over there. But a lot of these people who are interested in hunting, they would gather over there with their hunting dogs, and they would hunt around in that area with these dogs. Groups. There would be competition between groups, like my group of dogs hunts better or your group of dogs hunts better. There would be exchange of dogs. People would buy dogs, and at good prices. At good prices. I will tell you one of the dog bred by me. He really performed good in Bijapur. He came back from the Bijapur, this thing. 5 days after coming back from Bijapur, he was uh, probably 18 months old that time. And this was in 2011. 2011. In 2011, one person bought him for 50,000 rupees.
Mm-hmm. In
Yeah,
2011.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That I had bred that dog, but I was not the owner. I had sold it to someone, and he
Okay.
trained that dog, and he
Okay.
he had the potential. He performed. He showed what he had over there on field, and someone was really impressed. 5 days after that event, someone paid 50,000 rupees for him and took him, and then that dog lived with that
Okay.
person for next, I think, 5 or 7 years. And
And this is
see
a
about
Saluki
hunting
we're
now,
talking about, right?
huh? Saluki,
Saluki. Yeah.
Saluki.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just to
yeah, yeah,
point that out so that
yeah.
people don't get
Yeah,
confused.
yeah,
Okay.
Saluki.
Cool.
This was a
Okay.
Saluki. Uh, and see, I'll tell you. Now people would think, why would someone pay so much for a dog that hunts? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Mm-hmm.
see, if you are interested, if you are passionate about hunting, and it is like a sport, it is like a game that, like, as far as that thing is getting done, why wouldn't I pay? Like if you are into
Mm-hmm.
racing, okay, why won't you spend? You'll spend lakhs on to upgrading your car if you want to win the race, right? It is going
Correct.
to be same thing. If
Correct.
if the dog has the potential, someone will pay the price. If you think economically, okay, you said today, like I don't know when was this post you saw about
Mm-hmm.
some dog getting sold for
Mm-hmm.
80,000 rupees, but I'd say it was recent only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
the the person buys that dog for 80,000 rupees. Okay, and then
Mm-hmm.
the person is going out hunting with that dog probably twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
Indian hair normally weighs between 1500 grams to 1800 grams, I think, and probably after cutting
Mm-hmm.
and cleaning, probably 1 kg of meat. If you go to buy 1 kg of goat meat also in today's life, here in Pune,
Mm-hmm.
it is over,
700.
yeah, it's 700 rupees. Okay, and
700. Mm-hmm.
this is not like a pet or something. This is a hare that has eaten organic stuff, roamed around in the wilds, okay, eaten different types. So the meat is going to have that quality. If you're buying that quality of meat, if you're getting that quality of meat, like 2 kgs of that meat every week, look at the economics. Why wouldn't you pay 80,000 rupees
Mm-hmm.
for that?
Mm-hmm.
And the dog
Okay.
lives with you
Okay.
for like next, like I don't know how old that dog was, but just say. like 5 or 6 years, if the dog lives with you for 6 years or 7 years from now, in 7 years, if every week if the dog is giving you 1 kg or 2 kg of this nice meat, okay, to eat, why wouldn't you spend 80,000 rupees on that dog? Okay, fine. But the
Exactly.
other thing is that, okay, it is not legal. You will get caught. Keep that all aside. Okay, I'm just talking economically. Why would, if
Correct.
you're getting like such good meat, okay, that is like, it is completely organic, no human interference at all. Okay, wild meat. Okay, if you are getting to eat that meat 2 kg, why wouldn't you spend 80,000 rupees? Other consequences are fine, like
Exactly.
if someone cuts to know, you will be jailed and all that is there. But like you see why people pay so much. If you see the economics also, still it is still 80,000 rupees is quite cheap, man.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I agree. Okay, cool. Sorry to interrupt. I think we have one question from Siddesh Kadam.
Okay.
He is asking, sir, Pashmi आणि Saluki मध्ये काय फरक आहे? He wants to know the difference between Saluki and a Pashmi. Uh, yeah, I don't know
See,
whether
it
this
is.
question needs to be
I
answered in
will.
English or in
No, no,
Marathi.
Please go.
I don't. I
Okay,
personally, Siddesh, see, I personally don't have a problem answering it even right now. Only thing is, it will be very long. Okay, it will be
hmm,
very long. We have plans to do a special video about this,
Hmm.
so we can come in and talk about this thing in that video. Right now, let's keep the focus on caravans, because like Pashmir and
okay,
Baluchi, it will be a big video and big discussion, and this
okay,
video will get too long for that, so we are
okay.
going to do a
I
special
think I'll
video.
answer his question
Yeah.
for him. Siddesh is what I believe anyway. It's like the same fish and a different gravy. Okay, तुम्ही बांगडा घ्या, फ्राय करा किंवा तुम्ही करी करा. बांगडा बांगडाच आहे. Okay, that's my assumption anyway. I
Yeah,
don't see any
but
difference.
Siddesh,
Yeah, okay,
you please keep following the channel. We will be definitely doing a special video for this. It will be a nice long video, but especially on this, because this is not a question. This is a whole topic. One whole video we can do for this, but we will be, because a lot of people have this question, and I won't have a problem answering it even now, but it will just get too long. So let's just keep this for later. But
okay,
we will
cool.
definitely answer this. We will definitely talk about this in the future. We'll talk about this.
Okay, so all those who are there online right now, so today was just day one. We have this same channel being promoted by Rajesh, and he's doing sessions in other languages also. He's already done it in Marathi, quite a few videos. So this was ideally the first English video that we did today.